In previous episode, we finally found what was causing the ticking noise. Something broke off in the top end of the engine. I'll get more into detail about that later in this video, but we put the bike back together, which I didn't film because I was pretty sure you guys didn't want to see that for the 5th time. We dropped it off at a local shop and today they called me to say my bike was fixed. So I rushed home. And the plan was, right there with my bike, 2-upping, me taking the blue R125 home, and then my friend riding home on my black R125.
Oh.
So we rushed there.
Whee!
Without thinking, and when we got there and we saw the bike, we realized we dropped it off completely naked, with no license plate, no lights, no nothing. That sucks. The shop was about to close, so we decided to park the bike just outside of the front gate and we went back home. We went home, we grabbed everything we needed, indicators, taillight, number plate, and we got back out there. This time on my friend's little scooter. Now we're on the back of this bike. I will go into a little bit more detail of to what happened, what broke, and why I didn't fix it myself. So in the top end of the engine in an R125 is a little axle, I guess you could say, with a little hook on it, which is there for decompression. Now the little axle broke off, causing that little hook to flap around. And every time the piston came up, it made a horrible ticking sound. Now of course, hearing such a loud ticking sound causes a little bit of panic, so me and my friend were preparing for the worst. It was actually a pretty quick and cheap fix, but I couldn't do it myself because we would have to take the whole valve assembly apart, and I did not have the tools for that. That's why I brought it to the shop. Arriving back at the shop with all of the lights, we just quickly put everything together. The owner of the shop was about to leave and was looking at us kind of funny because there were 2 dudes standing in front of the front gate of a motorcycle dealership trying to fix a bike. But then he saw it was me and he was like, "Oh, you need any help?" But I just sent him on his way home. We put on the indicators, the license plate, and the taillight, and let me tell you, the indicators are awesome mounted like this. We couldn't mount them any other way, sadly, but it looks awesome and it's just to get home. So I hopped on it. I hope there are no cops because this bike looks stolen without any fairings, and let's just say it's not the right number plate for this bike. So, on our way home.
Oh my god, this is weird! A rat! A rat! Woo! It rides, guys! We fixed it! Woo! This is so weird. The shifter sits up really high. The rear brake sits up really low. I mean, I don't know why I'm complaining about the shifter and the brake pedal. This whole bike is basically apart. Oh my god, this is weird, guys. I don't have mirrors. Oh. This is a test ride. It feels good though. Power feels smooth. Just a few things we need to tweak, like the pedals, the clutch needs to be adjusted. This bike is so quiet, man, god damn. The throttle needs to be adjusted as well. It doesn't return by itself, so it's kind of awkward. This bike rides completely different than my bike. It also, like, I feel like I'm on such a short bike because there's nothing in the front anymore. So it feels like, I don't know, like a naked bike, like a cafe racer. You know, it has a racer kind of like stands, but like a naked bike, I guess. So like a naked bike with clip-ons, that's what it feels like. It's also kind of what it looks like right now. I just don't want to get pulled over because this looks like a stolen bike. It definitely has insurance on it. It definitely is registered. Brakes feel solid though. The bike actually runs really nice. Sounds pretty good, a little bit quiet. But yeah, that's just the Akrapovic because it has to be legal. I mean, it handles great. I mean, it's an R125. This bike has been standing still for almost a year. It hasn't been ridden. So to breathe life into it again is awesome. The mechanics out, we did a really good job. Nothing really was wrong with it. We did everything we could do to it. So, awesome. People must be like, what the fuck is he riding on? Fucking wreck. The first 100 this bike saw in forever. Okay, this was the test ride and I think it was successful. I didn't feel any problems. Needs to be adjusted a little bit, like the clutch and the throttle and stuff like that. It rides great, feels great, sounds great. So I think we did a pretty good job. Now let's get this inside, and then somewhere this week we'll put the fairings on it. Very nice. This ghetto blinker setup. But hey, it works. Can't believe I rode this home without getting pulled over. Sounds good.
And just like that, the bike is back together. Let's just give it a quick clean and a burnout to celebrate the completion of the build.
Alright, let's end this project how we started, by filming it when it was not working in the shed. Only difference is, now it's working. It's been a few months, but we finally got it in working order, and I'm just going to quickly go over what we did to it. We completely took it apart, as you guys know, took out the engine a few times actually, put the standard cylinder back in, put the standard ECU back in, fixed the timing chain problem, it was set incorrectly,
fixed the valve clearance because that was not correct. I put mirrors on it. I put the new windscreen on it because the old one was broken. I put some new side bulbs in it because only one was working. I put a new taillight in it. And I found a very clean way to mount stock indicators. Just put them under the tail like that, which looks great. All the lights work except for one, because that's how the previous owner wired it. I also had a shop looking at the head of the engine, because there was a small problem in there which I did not have the tools for. But now let's do what everybody wants. Let's start it in here, and then the buyer can pick it up. No more engine lights. And then we send it off to its new owner.